What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all see the title of the video, POV, you didn't save enough. Your next move is the shelter in 17 days. So that's what we're finna be talking about in this video, ladies and gentlemen. I have real important context behind the caption, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what we finna get into, and I appreciate y'all time. But that's why I'm on y'all head, ladies and gentlemen, about saving y'all money. I have a small little emergency fund, but it's not big enough, you know, no diddy. Like, my emergency fund isn't enough for me to, we're not supposed to be comfortable, of course, but my small emergency fund doesn't make me feel comfortable, even though I shouldn't want to be comfortable, of course, but you know, it's just one of those things where if your money not long and you got bills, it's gonna run out real short, ladies and gentlemen. So I say all that to say this. I got some money coming in, and I gotta pay, what, $900 if I want to extend my short-term lease on top of the rent for the next month. I have it put up, but I don't want to touch it, ladies and gentlemen. That's why in my situation, I am leaning towards just figuring out what's going on at the shelter, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why I say that is because everything I worked for the past 6-7 months, I don't want to just throw that away by just paying rent, and then I'm broke at zero. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather deal with the stress that comes with the shelter and all that, ladies and gentlemen, than be broke. You know what I'm saying? I'm just be real with y'all. Like, mentally, I don't care if I had 20K, ladies and gentlemen. Mentally, I'm still broke, you know? So it don't matter if I got 5K, 6K, 7, 8K saved. Right now, I'm still not stable because I'm not at a survival mode, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have my living expenses up to, you know, 8 to 12 months. And some of y'all gonna be like, oh, you don't have to have an emergency fund that large. You know what I'm saying? A roof over your head is important. I get a roof over your head is important, but what's more important? Being broke or having a roof over your head? Or being broke to where you can't even afford the roof over your head. So you still gonna need some help anyway. I'm just like, I might as well get it out the way early, ladies and gentlemen. So I say all that to say this. I hope y'all can learn from my situation, ladies and gentlemen, and just look at this video and know that's exactly why I need to save my money. I don't want to end up like him. I'm telling y'all, ladies and gentlemen, I have 17 days before it's either time for me to pay that $900 or get my stuff out of this room, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm in grind mode with, you know, making my little money off the internet, but I'm just looking at this as in, this can be a step forward or this can be a step backwards. And right now, I don't have the funds or the time and patience to go backwards at all. You know what I'm saying? That's why it goes back to, you know, the message of this whole channel. Save your money, ladies and gentlemen. If I would have had a larger emergency fund, I only got a 3-month emergency fund. Just imagine if I had an emergency fund for 9 months. You know how much peace I would have, ladies and gentlemen? And even when you do have some money saved up, if you don't have increments, you know, of passive income coming in, you might get depressed even by not having no money coming in. Because just because you got some money saved, don't think you just almighty, you know what I'm saying, untouchable. Because if you're a person that's used to doing something every day and you just sitting on cake that you got saved up, life will get a little boring, you know, in my opinion. Like, we supposed to have trials and tribulations, you know, hard times, because then we got something to appreciate the good times, you know what I'm saying? But I just say all that to say this, like, I really hope y'all can look at this video and really learn and see why I'm so dead ass and serious about this saving money niche, this, you know, increasing our income niche, like all that, like all this shit results back to saving your money and increasing more money. You see what I'm saying? Increasing your tax bracket. And I told y'all, ladies and gentlemen, March 9th was my last day of work. Some of y'all gonna say, oh, you shouldn't have quit your job. And I shouldn't have quit my job. But I'm gonna be real with y'all. The route I was headed with working at that job, I was finna have a felony on my record. And that's no excuse. I just know how I am. And that's what a lot of people delusional at. They don't know who they are until they in a fucked up situation they can't get themselves out of. You see what I'm saying? I'm already thinking ahead. So even when I quit that job, I was thinking ahead of knowing, okay, bet, you got You know what I'm saying? You got 3 months of living expenses. Cool. You decent for a little bit, you know? But again, come back to the video. It's like that 3 months isn't enough, ladies and gentlemen. I already done what? I paid 1 month up. I got 2 more months of living expenses put up on top of that money coming in. And the money coming in hasn't hit yet. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not banking on anything. If it hit, of course, I'm going to stay here for another 30 days and, you know, prolong what's going on. Because anything can happen. A miracle can happen. But I just say all that to say this, ladies and gentlemen. When you have more money saved, you don't have to be in scarcity mindset. You know, you don't have to be in a depressed state. You can stay in a flow state. You can stay in a state to where you get into the gym. You working out every day. You going to work. You doing your thing. You increasing your skill set. You know, it's gonna flow like water. But when you don't have no money saved for real and things do go wrong, it's like you carrying a big ass boulder on your back, and that's how I feel right now. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not making this video to make y'all do what I'm telling y'all to do or to tell you you're dumb if you're not saving. I'm just telling y'all the result or showing y'all cause and effect of somebody who didn't save enough, you know. So make sure you saving enough. In my opinion, I want folks to, before you move out the crib, before you get kicked out the crib, try to stack you 10, 20K. You feel me? And I really don't even want to say try, because you need to make sure you can stack that. I'm telling y'all, ladies and gentlemen, it's hard out here. If y'all don't already know this shit, it's hard out here. Like I said, got 3 months of living expenses and still, you know, in a sense, on the verge of freaking out. You feel me? Because I really genuinely don't know what the next move is. All I know is my next move can't be going backwards. You see what I'm saying? And I genuinely feel like when you saving and you got a nice amount of money put up, or you got some systems in place where you bringing in money every month, weekly, whatever, you're not going to be as in a down spirit. You feel me? That's just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all comment down below what y'all think. But I'm just being 100 with y'all. You know, like I said, 17 days. I either got to cough up $900, $200 for the short-term lease, and it's $1,200. Rent $1,000, $200 lease, yeah, so $1,200. I gotta come up with $1,200, ladies and gentlemen. I got 3 of it already, so I gotta come up with $900 left, and I got 3 weeks. And what's that? That's around roughly $300 a week. Which is obtainable. It's just the fact that, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to touch the emergency fund. We all know if you have to touch the emergency fund, it is what it is, but I'm grinding so I don't have to touch it. You see what I'm saying? Because I look at it's me touching the emergency fund as going backwards. You know what I'm saying? And I probably shouldn't be looking at it like that. But I'm just now obtaining this mindset to where I'll be looking at me being broke as having 10K cash, 7K cash, 5K cash. I'm looking at that 5K, that 4K as I'm broke, I'm at 0. You see what I'm saying? Everybody might not look at that. Somebody else might look at you having 1,000 and be like, oh, you're doing good, 2,000, you're doing good. And it's like, you don't understand, because when you got $5,000, $6,000, there's really $50 when you got bills. You feel me? Especially when you paying all your bills, you're not getting no slack cut. You don't have no ride. If you do got a ride, that's $1,000 just a ride. You know what I'm saying? Every month, you feel me? I'm no saint, ladies and gentlemen. I'm no saint. I'm just making this video so y'all can do the opposite of what I'm telling y'all. The opposite. Don't do what I did. I'm telling y'all see how much anxiety I have, and I'm telling y'all I got 3 months of living expenses. Three months should tell you that's not enough. That's why I keep aiming and preaching about the 12 months of living expenses, ladies and gentlemen, because that's a whole year. That it ain't no way. It's not gonna take you a whole year to get a job, ladies and gentlemen. Now, maybe if you're in a small town, somewhere in Alabama, Mississippi, or something, then we probably talk. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother story. But for most of our urban areas, they got a lot of traffic in the cities. I don't see you not getting a job in a whole year of applying. I don't see how that's happening. You might not like one of the jobs, but that's when you gotta have some money saved up, work the job for a month or two, get some new money, and just leave. But you can do that when you got some money saved. You're not finna be bouncing around from job to job to job, and you don't got no money saved. And then if you are bouncing around from job to job to job with no money saved, it just make your situation even worse. Situation already be shitty. Now you done turn that motherfucker turmoil. You feel me? And everybody not getting on this app really telling y'all the game, giving y'all the game when it comes to being an adult. I heard this shit on Instagram not too long ago. You're gonna be an adult longer than you were a teenager. A teenager, what? You got 5 years to be bullshitting, playing around, fucking on shorties, vice versa. Ladies getting laid by the young men. Like, you got 5 years to bullshit. After 18, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have no successful family or a family that want to build with you at a young age and not kick you out the crib, you got 18 and over, you on your own. So where you gonna be staying at? If you don't want to pay no rent, you either gonna be staying places where you have to bend to other people's rules. You might have to do things you might not want to do to have a roof over your head, or you're gonna be homeless. You know what I'm saying? Or you might have to go to college. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking college, but if you're not getting no grants or nothing like that, some shit that you don't have to pay back, and you really trying to gain a skill, you finna get into debt. You feel me? And on top of that shit, a lot of motherfuckers I know that went to college, they ain't do shit, but was in there bullshitting around, niggas selling weed, hoes getting pregnant, hoes going to every party. Like, motherfuckers really ain't getting their life together, but the easiest way, in my opinion, to get your life together is, it's just step one. Build you not a nice emergency fund, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, still have a job. If you got a car, get a cash car. If you don't have a cash car, make sure your note, you can afford to pay your note. You know what I'm saying? Like, and hurry up, get off that motherfucking note and stop making them goddamn finance people, the bank, and all these other motherfuckers rich that ain't making you rich. You can tell the bank your ass homeless, sleeping in your car. You think they gonna give a fuck? Come on. Yeah, y'all comment down below what y'all think. I'm just giving y'all the real spiel, man. I wish I had a larger emergency fund. So all I can do is, again, it goes back to, I just want to go forward. And I look at, if you keep paying rent somewhere and you have like no money coming in that can replace that, like you're stagnant. You're either stagnant or you're gonna be stuck. And eventually you're gonna be broke, which is zero. And imagine being broke, $0, just because I wanted to have a roof over my head. And I get it, you need a roof over your head. But it's like, I'm not finna be naive. You see what I'm saying? I'd rather go to the shelter and have whatever money I got put up and just mentally tell me I'm broke, I need help, I don't have nowhere to go. Am I lying? No. But I'm smart enough / dumb enough to understand that this little few thousand gonna run out real soon. So that's what I'm telling y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Aim for a 12-month emergency fund. Aim for a 12-month emergency fund. And I can't wait to get on this camera, ladies and gentlemen, and show y'all a 12-month emergency fund, because I know that's gonna put more, it's gonna put belt to ass for you to even understand how serious it is. I guarantee you right now, if even just for an example, if I had a 12-month emergency fund right now versus me having a 3-month emergency fund, I guarantee you my spirits would be different. You know what I'm saying? Because I would mentally know I got a year. I got until 2027 to, find a job. And that don't mean bullshit and not try to make no money, not try to get no job or nothing. But I'm saying that's a whole year of, okay, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I still have a roof over my head, whether I got some income coming in or not. Versus when you got only 3 months of rent, food, and all that, and it's like, in the sense you start counting the days, like, damn, I only got 12 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that shit, I'm working on my GED. You feel me? Like I'm doing my own tutoring for my GED, and it's like, okay, got a little income coming in, but it's like I need that shit to exceed my rent. And it's like I'll be lucky to break even. You feel me? Even if I break even, ladies and gentlemen, what is that? Nigga, you still staying stagnant because you ain't come out of the month or your spreadsheet, you ain't come out of that bitch positive. Feel me? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this video, I just want y'all to learn that build you a big emergency fund. If you don't know what an emergency fund is, go look at the channel, go look it up, do what you gotta do. But yeah, build you an emergency fund. A sustainable emergency fund, not no temporary emergency fund. If you're gonna have just one emergency fund, make sure you have duplicates. Don't just have one. Have 7, have 8. Aim for that. You got an emergency fund for every day of the week. You know what I'm saying? Like, think strategically. You see what I'm saying? I was thinking strategically before I quit my job, but I should have been thinking more strategically. You see what I'm saying? I should have put more thought and planning into my escape. You see what I'm saying? Granted, I don't even understand where I would be at mentally right now if I didn't have 3 months of living expenses put up. So I'm grateful to be on this side of the field, but I'm also not gonna be blindsided by, I was 2-3 decisions away from being jobless with you know what I'm saying, with no bread put up. So it just depends on how you look at shit, and it's just perspectives, ladies and gentlemen. But comment down below if y'all learned something from this video. If you made it to the end of the video, I hope you took some value from this video, as in build you up a larger emergency fund. And like I said, that, and also pick up game, as in, see, we got 7 days a week. A goal need to be 7 emergency funds. You feel me? If you build 7 emergency funds up with 3K in it, what's that? That's 21K. Shit. That's your rent for the year and some. That's your rent for a year and a half. And still got a little something. You know what I'm saying? So, comment down below what y'all think, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all time. I'm just finna zone out, get to it. Comment down below what y'all think. Real talk. Shout out to y'all, ladies and gentlemen.